Oh, hello everyone. I thought I'd take a video today on the River Drava, and it's just incredible to see how much the water's risen in the last few days. So that means the rains are falling and the snows are thawing, so spring is here, well and truly. But here I am surrounded by snow, and the heavens opened yesterday and last night just to remind us that there is something bigger than us. So we can never predict anything, can we, really? We can look at forecasts, meteorological forecasts, which give us an indication as to what's going on, but it's just an estimate. The same with the energies, the same with what we're feeling, it's just an estimate. And it's what we do with that information that... I need to put my glove on 1 second, because it's quite cold here. What we do with that information is entirely up to us. Sorry, I think I got myself off then. What we do with that information is entirely up to us. And that's the moral of our story, really, our life story. It's what we do with the information, how we process it, how we allow it to, how we allow ourselves to take action based upon this information. And when we're clear of all of these traumas, these thought processes, these control mechanisms, this clarity, we're able to make conscious decisions. And that's what this whole life journey is about, is to making a decision based upon clear facts or clear information, based on clarity. And without clarity, how can we make a right decision? So in addition to that, we can recognize patterns. And when we see the patterns, again, it's information from previous cycles or previous things that we've done that serve us today. Because it's that experience, it's that knowledge that we remember what we did before. We know the outcome. Was the outcome positive or not positive? And if the outcome was positive, we don't need to do anything different. If the outcome was not positive, then we find ourselves in the same situation, we know we have to make a choice that's different to what we made previously, because the outcome previously was not good. So when we're living in the moment, we have this massive data bank and this inner knowing that we've been here before, the deja vu, the mandala, whatever effect we want to call it. We've done this before. So it's important that we're aware, we're conscious. Oh my lord, wet leg. So that's a sign of something. And that consciousness is what we're now tapping into, that clarity, that clear thought, that pure thought, that source. Whatever label we want to put on it. And the higher we ascend, the higher, the more clearer consciousness we're able to tap into. And we're tapping into the purity. And our telepathy is rife at the moment. I was talking to somebody last night, and she was answering the question that I was thinking of before I even asked the question or even typed the question. And what's all that about? You know, my channel was very clear last night. I was tapping into people's past lives or current life situations, which is really, that hasn't happened for such a long time. So that's good. I can see now where everything has come from and where everything is leading to. And I can see that the decisions that I make, not only today but in the future, lead to different situations reoccurring or occurring over time. Because we live in a cycle. We are cyclical beings. The whole universe is cyclical. So certain events will happen over and over and over again. And I was talking to a soul sister this morning, and it was sort of like, we look at the astrology, and I've really sort of gotten into astrology quite recently, trying to understand it, trying to see how it affects me. And that's mainly because I've now found, or managed to figure out through some software, how to get my birth time. So it's interesting because I could see through the astrology, the parts of my life where everything becomes clear. It's a tool. It's a mechanism. And there's two sides to astrology, isn't there? There's the positive side, there's the light side of the planet, which is going to give you the rewards and the benefits and the sensations and the rewards for clearing the shadow side of the planet. So when everyone talks about Mercury retrograde, everyone thinks, oh, it's a down time, it's a really low time. But it's not. It can't be if you've done the work. So you can only take the benefit. You can only take the benefit because you've gone through all that shit and crap through retrogrades before. Maybe retrograde is a time of reflection on what you've done and where you've come from, and to benefit from those rewards. And, you know, listening to astrologers, they're always talking about the shadow side of the planet, or how these things, how the planets move can affect the shadow side of you. They very rarely talk about the positive sides of the planet. But through every you know, if I didn't know that was a retrograde coming, you know, maybe some parts of this affects us in our psychology as well. There's a retrograde, so everything's going to be shit. But it's not. I don't think I've gone through a retrograde which has been low for me. I've had, yes, technology fall apart or break down, but that's nothing really that's affected me tremendously. So I think, you know, we have to take what the astrologers are saying, and put it into context, into real terms on how these things affect us. And if you look at the events that are coming into planetary alignment now, there are some really cool things coming that have never happened in our lifetimes, that are only happening the first time in our lifetime, that have only happened like 100 years ago or 80 years ago, or some cases 1200. And last time one event happened was 1200 years ago. So we've not revisited these points that have happened before in history. And it's like we're saying, all of these timelines are collapsing. Well, they are collapsing because these cases, the cycles of certain planets are coming to ends, and there's new beginnings. So we are going to be feeling all of this new energy coming in if we've done the work. I believe the positive sides of the planets we can feel internally if we've done the work. And if we're feeling low, then there's something that we haven't done. And that means we should look at our astrology, our birth natal chart, and see how we're feeling and in which part, you know, look at the planetary alignments. You know, I'm not an astrologer. I don't want to dabble in something that I don't fully understand. But I can see on the surface how it can help and how it can explain certain things that are happening over and over again. And I keep blabbing on about Uranus coming into Taurus because I'm a Taurian. And I can feel and I can sense what's coming. And I'm already talking about it and have been talking about it for months and months and months. And I can also understand why I've lived the path that I've lived, looking at financial services sector and dealing in that inside of the business and seeing that illusion. And now progressing into cryptocurrencies and technology development, which is what aspect I'm dealing with in my life right now. So my life journey has prepared me for what's coming. However hard it's been, I had no choice. I had a choice. I could have made different decisions, but I do believe that the outcome would still be the same. Eventually, in time, I would be doing what I'm doing now, because it just has to happen. If I'm going to purify myself, once I signed up for this journey, I had a commitment. I made a commitment. I made a commitment with me, and it took me until I was 49 years old to really make that decision within myself, to honour the agreement that I made with myself, if that makes sense. It was that point in time that I made the decision by looking in my own eyes via a mirror and saying, you need to sort your shit out. And where I am today is in a much better place. I'm a much different person. My perspective has changed on many aspects of life, including that in relationships, in parenting, in how life is, and how much we are truly capable of. The sun's shining now, very nice. Sun shining down on me. How we can manifest, and how we have got this own energy within us to do whatever we set our heart and mind to. We just break down the barriers that seem to stop us through whatever is going on in the world. And I don't see, you know, looking at the direction my life is going in right now, I have been prepared. You know, my life path right now is now heading me back to Russia. And it's with a pure project. And if I look at this life journey, the project what I'm involved with now that started, which possibly was the trigger to the separation with my beloved, I don't know. I can't say that. It's a contributing factor. When I met this person in my life, it was all an illusion. It was based on dollars. It was based upon how much can you get me for what I have in my mind and in my hands. And after we explored the traditional, or I explored the traditional paths of financing for this person, despite me telling him that it hadn't happened this way, but I still pursued to show how impossible it was this way, or that this particular project wasn't destined to be financed in the old corporate way. It wasn't till we went through that process that I recognized that it's a non-starter. I said it's a non-starter because the mindset of the person offering what they were offering was not in the right place for the project. So I knew inside. I had a choice then to follow the capitalistic mentality and try and raise multi-millions of dollars for this guy, or I would let it go. And if it was meant to be, it would come back to me. And that's what happened in 2017. So I know it's meant to be, it's part of my destiny, it's part of my fate. But what I've achieved is I've now purified myself. The other persons involved in the project, which have been added to the project and were part of the project back then, have also purified themselves. They've got the mindset now, and they understand the direction that it's meant to go in, and they understand how it's meant to get there. And they understand, and they're dropping over the period of the last 3.5 years. All of us individually have gone through an awakening of some description or another. We've all gone to the lowest points of our lives, and now we are full in our lives, but we're in the same situation in a, let's say, in the 3D world financially. We have enough money to live every day. That's what we have. But we're creating this wonderful global humanitarian project that will change the world. So please remember those words. I'm here to change the world, and I will change the world with the group of people that I'm involved with on a global level. And that's my promise, and that's what I'm here to do. And with the direct descendant of Nikola Tesla alongside me, and me alongside him, and our team of people, we will achieve that goal. And we will reverse the karma that's been built up over the name Nikola Tesla and the technologies that have been used to completely devastate the world. And I'm proud to be part of it, and this is the first time I've spoken openly, really, to my audience about it. You're all part of this journey too, because each of you have helped me in one way, shape or form. So thank you. The journey hasn't stopped. The journey is just continuing. But the energies are at a level that I've never experienced in my life before. And I'm completely free. All the issues that I had to resolve to enable me to build the life that I have always wanted and desired and sought is now at my disposal. I'm at one with myself. I'm at complete contentness with my family situation. Each of my children is in the right place. They're in the right frame of mind, and they're prepared also for what's going to come their way. My colleagues are also prepared. We've all gone through our own processing and finding our own inner core self. So the journey's prepared, but every day we are still presented with challenges, and it's up to us how we overcome them. And if we don't need to deal with the situation, let's simply walk away from it. And that's what I'm learning to do. And that's living in the moment. There are things that are presented that would normally trigger our old, let's say, old temptations that are presented in my face. And as as I'm consciously aware of it, I go, oh, I don't need to do this way. I won't do what I used to do. I'm going to do something new and do something creative and do something different. And what you're doing then is you're taking advantage of the positive side of the planet, your positive side of your energy, and you're reversing it. And therefore, you're going to feel the positive benefits of it. For those of you that are still procrastinating, those of you that are still scared or afraid, don't be. I climbed a mountain for me, but I shared it with you for a reason. It's to give you the faith and the confidence in yourself that you can do whatever you want to do. You can do whatever you want to achieve from your life. You're a free spirit. You are a sovereign being. So don't be afraid of anything. Go through those barriers and go through those pains because it's for your best good. It may not feel comfortable, it may not feel right, but how you go through it in a conscious and open-minded and open-hearted way is going to bring you the results that will transform your life. And I've bore witness to many new people that have come into contact with me over the last 2 months that have literally transformed their lives in the space of 2 to 3 weeks and completely reached the same space or the same energy vibration as where I am and where others of my soul family are. So we know that this is part of a divine plan or some strange coincidences. I don't like to label things because I know where I'm going and I know what I've got to do, and I know that I've got a good group of people around me that we're all helping each other. We're working in unity. We share the same vision, we share the same goal. And it's only through that unity that things like this will grow and prosper. And this is where humanity needs to get to. It's to that unity. And as the things begin to collapse around us, because believe me, they will collapse, you're going to start to see things collapse. And you can already see it through the news streams. The mainstream news is starting to publish things. And because it's everyone can see it. We're not stupid anymore. And you're going to see these things collapse. You're going to see chaos and you're going to see devastation. But rise above it. Rise above it, because you are not, when you buy into this nonsense, these red flag moments or whatever moments you want to call it, these deliberate acts to deceive us, when you buy into it, you're buying into their energy and their vibration. So no matter how hard it is to see these incidents, or however much it touches you, you need to rise above it and see yourself above that and be who you truly are. Don't allow these events to bring you down, and don't allow yourself to be distracted by them. If they affect you personally, obviously you need to deal with the situation, but deal with the situation from a position of love, and that you are part of the change, and that you are here to make a difference, and you will do the complete opposite to what you would normally have done. So, from the river driver in Croatia, I'm sending you lots of love and light. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this journey with you, and thank you for being part of my journey so far, and one that's going to be an exciting adventure, and I look forward to sharing it with you more and more. Namaste.